we'll get started with some nice, relaxing, mindful movement session here by doing some nice deep breathing, going in through the nose and out through the mouth. And keep that breathing going there. Throughout this session, just keep the breathing going. If you need to take any breaks, if you need to rest at any point, or if you need to make any adaptations, that is absolutely fine. I'm going to show you some to the best of my ability, but if you need to make any extra adaptations, that is absolutely fine. Keep that breathing going. If you haven't already, let's close down the eyes and bring that focus inwards on the breath, going in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you're breathing here, notice how it impacts your body as well. As you breathe in, the chest naturally inflates, which puts you into a more upright posture. And as you breathe out, you naturally feel that relaxation come over you as you sink the shoulders down. And just go through that cycle as you're breathing, just noticing how it's affecting your body. Now we're in a bit more relaxed state. Keep the breathing going, but I want you to thank yourself for being here today. As we always say, sometimes the hardest part of the session is just turning up in the first place, but we are here now, so let's remind ourselves to stay as focused as we can do through this next hour together. Whatever we may be doing, just making sure we're doing it to the best of our ability, and understanding though that it's natural for our mind to wander through the session, but if we notice it, just bring it back in line. Focus again what we're doing in the session, whether it's breathing or movement or stretching, whatever it may be. Let's make sure that we stay as focused as we can. Keep that breathing going whilst you're thinking that. And sit up nice and tall if you're not already. And I want you to almost, well, keep the breathing going as you are here, but I want you to sit up really tall and almost imagine there's a piece of string that's going through your spine, all the way through the top of your head, and it's just pulling you upwards towards the ceiling there. And it's just pulling you up and up and up. Just feel like your neck's elongating, the spine's elongating. And then I want you to relax down a little bit. We're going to do that a couple more times. So just relax off, almost as if that string is slackened there and it's curling down a bit, and then we're going to go again. So just pull yourself up through that spine. Imagine you're being pulled up towards the ceiling. Nice long spine. And relax it off again. Just again, relax the spine and the neck down. And let's go 2 more times here. Keeping the eyes closed, keeping the breathing going. Let's lengthen up that spine again, pulling yourself through up to the ceiling, and relax it back down. And one more time here, coming up, pulling it up towards the ceiling there, and relaxing down. Keep the breathing going, but start to open up your eyes. As we breathe in now, we're going to shrug the shoulders up. And as we breathe out, we're going to relax them down. We're just going to cycle through that here. Breathing in, shrugging up. Breathing out, relaxing down. Squeeze those shoulders as you bring them up. Relax and pull them down. Going back and forth between the two here. Good work. Instead of breathing in and squeezing the shoulders up and breathing out, relax them down. We're going to come squeeze them back behind us as we breathe in, and then push them forwards as we breathe out. Let me come to the side so you can see that from there as well. So breathe in, squeeze those shoulder blades behind you, and then breathe out and just push those shoulders forwards there. Back and forth. Between the two, good control. And let's just do some shoulder rotations here. Just nice, gentle circles going around to the best of your ability. Don't worry about which direction you're going, because we will swap in a bit, but just keep it going in this first direction here. Nice, gentle movements. Moving it around. And let's change direction. Go in the opposite way, just nice, gentle circles, moving it around to the best of your ability. Don't worry too much if one's a little bit less than the other, if that's what your ability level is on this. Just moving around to the best that you can do. Good work. Let's start to open that up a little bit more by doing hands sort of gliding roughly on the shoulders here, and then bring those elbows around in a circle. Nice big circles round. Good range of motion to the best of your ability. If you can't get the full big circle round, you can do smaller circles. If you need to do alternating arms as well, or just the single arm, whatever you can do here, just to get it moving around to the best of your ability. Good work, everybody. Excellent. Well, let's change direction and go the opposite way. Again, we can do this double arm, we can do it alternating arm, or if you just need to do the single arm, whatever you need to do here, do what is necessary, even if it's the smaller circles. Excellent. Well, you guys are doing great there on this. Nice. Well, let's open it up a little bit more by doing a circle right the way around with the arm this time. And we want to try and trace the biggest circle that we can. If that's like I'm able to do, that's fine. But if you're not able to get right the way up and around, we can just bring it down. We can do it with a slightly bent arm if you need to. But try and just draw the biggest circle you can around with those arms. And as you get into it a little bit more, if you're able to, try and really like push it forwards. When you come up, you reach up towards the sky. As you come back, try and reach back as best you can. And down as well. Don't just go round in a circle. Try and push the limits of what you're able to do here in terms of range of motion, but as long as you're not causing yourself any pain or discomfort as you do so. If you do feel it, just back it off and bring it in smaller again. Let's try and almost get some stretching in here as we do it. Let's change direction and go the opposite way now. Nice big circles. Around you go. Good. Well, let's change over to the other side and get that one going round. work. Just nice big circles to the best of your ability. Nice work. Let's change direction and go the opposite way. Nice. Work there. Still big circles. Round we go. And easing it off there. Let's just go into some shoulder rotations again. Easing it off. Change direction. Nice work. Let's go into a little bit of stretching here, seeing as we're nice and loose within those shoulder joints now. The first one here we're going to do is reaching over to one side. We'll hold it for 3 to 5 seconds. Then we'll come down and over to the other side. If you're unable to bring the arm all the way up and over, not a problem. We can just bring it across the face or even across the chest or just lower down. Just making sure that we're getting a good stretch as we do so, as we reach over. Nice work. Nice work, everybody. Let's go into our next one here. We're going to open up the chest by bringing both the hands back. And then we're going to reach one arm forwards the best we can. And then we'll bring it back. Feel that stretch across the front of the chest here by bringing those arms right the way back. And reach the arm forwards and push that shoulder forwards in the joint as well to increase that stretch to the best of your ability. Nice work, everybody. Just good stretch, good reach forwards, back and forth between one side and the other. Good. Well, let's just do some shoulder rotations after that one. Change direction. And we're going to do one we haven't done for a long time here, but it's a really good stretch for sort of deep within the rotator cuffs as well. So usually we do the one where we come shoulders in and out. But this time what we're going to do, put hands on our hips or our wheels if you've got wheels, and we're going to push our shoulders forwards, and then we're going to try and bring those shoulder blades back behind us. And we're going to go back and forth between that there. So hands sort of around about the hips area and try and push those elbows forwards there. You feel probably a deep stretch that way. And then as you come back, you're going to stretch sort of the front deltoids a little bit here, trying to bring those elbows together. Hold each one for about 3 to 5 seconds again. And just going back and forth between the two. There's a little bit of rotator cuff in there, a little bit of rear deltoids when we come forwards, and a little bit of front deltoids as we bring it back. A little bit of chest as well. Good work. That one feels particularly good to stretch, especially when you bring those elbows forwards. And let's go into the actual rotator cuff one now. So you've got two options. Option number one is keep the elbows up, rotate back and rotate down and go back and forth between the two. If you're unable to keep the arms up, elbows tucked in, come out to the side, come back in. So pick which one works for you. If you're able to do it with the arms up, I'd recommend doing that. And let's ease it off there, nice. Little rotations. Just a point about the stretching there. I've said this in the past a lot, but when it comes to tight muscles, that tightness feeling is really, normally is weakness within the muscles. Stretching feels great. It's very short term though, and that tight feeling does come back. The best thing that we can do is to combine the stretching, which has other benefits in terms of helping our body to stay supple, but combining it with things like cardio and strength training is what we really need to do. So stretching alone isn't going to help with that tight feeling. You still need to exercise in a variety of different ways. But I know a lot of you already do that because you come to these sessions twice a week, so and maybe even 3 times a week. But we are going to move on to doing some breathing and movement at the same time now. So let's get back into a state. We're just doing some nice deep breathing, going in through the nose, out through the mouth, and keep that going there. Just nice, slow, deep breathing. Good. We're going to do it a little bit different here today. So keep your eyes open if you need to be watching this, but as you breathe in, I just want you to bring both the hands up to around about shoulder height, and then as you breathe out, we're going to bring it back down. As you come up the second time, we're going to come up to the side, and then we're going to come back down. Now we're going to come up to the front, but this time we're going to go all the way up above the head, or best you can. If you can't bring the arms all the way up, even if it's a bent arm, that's fine. As you breathe out, bring it down. And then the best we can, we're going to bring the arms up to the side as we breathe in and back down. Then we're going to go back to the beginning. So the shorter ones here, so coming up to shoulder height and back down, up to the side and down. Breathing in, raise those arms all the way up to the highest we can and back down. And then the same to the side, as high as you can, and back down. Keep repeating that through. We're going back to the first one again, up to the front, back down, to the side, back down, raising it all the way up to the top, and down, and then to the side. Good work. Let's go one more time through that. Let's go to the front to begin with, and back down, to the side. Breathing out on the way down, to the front all the way up, to the side. And relax that off there. Let's keep the breathing going. Just going in through the nose, out through the mouth. And let's just do some shoulder rotations as well, just to ease out of that. So a little bit of core control in there with the breathing and the arm movement there. Requires a little bit more focus to keep those arms straight as we go through those movements. So that's good work there. And let's ease off. But let's have a hydration break now. So grab yourself a drink, and then we will move into some of our spinal mobility coming up next. I got squash again, but I don't know if you can see it's green this time. It's for the new Star Wars movie. It was a special edition. It's got glitter in it, which I didn't realise until after I bought it. It was a mistake, but it's all I've got, so I'm not wasteful. So excellent. Right, we're going to go into some of our spinal mobility now. So we're going to start with our neck movements. So let's get into position, nice comfortable here, and start just doing some breathing to start with, and then we go into the neck mobility. So just nice breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And let's start going into our flexion extension. So looking down, looking up, go back and forth between the two here. Nice, easy, gentle movement. Don't worry too much about going really far range of motion, as long as we're getting some good movement here, just looking down, looking up, back and forth between the two, mobilizing that neck here to the best of our ability. The next time you find yourself looking down, let's hold that position there, tuck that chin in, and just relax into this position. It's nice, gentle breathing here. Feeling that stretch through the back of our neck. And let's ease out of it there. Going back into looking up and down for a bit first. Just to ease out of that stretch. And then the next time you find yourself looking up, let's go into a stretch. So with this stretch, remember we look forwards, keep the mouth closed and raise the head up. That might be enough for some of you, but if you want to take a little bit further, start by looking forwards. Hand roughly on the sternum or on top of the sternum. Keep the mouth closed and just look up from there. And you feel a stretch through the front of the neck there. If you want to as well, you can sort of, in that position, just rock side to side slightly. You might feel some other areas that feel like they need stretching. Yeah, let's ease out of it there. Looking up and down again to do so. Let's go into some rotation, looking side to side now. Just nice, easy movements. Nothing too crazy here, just gently moving from one side to the other. Let's try and bring a stretch into it now. So start by looking forwards. We're going to place our left hand just sort of on top of the right collarbone there. Keeping the mouth closed again and rotate round to the left. hold that position. If you're not quite got it there, I'll explain again. So start by looking forward, left hand on top of the right collarbone, sort of lock that neck in place almost there a little bit, rotate round to the left, and you'll start to feel a stretch through that right side of the neck, underneath the jaw, towards the collarbone. And ease out of it, doing a couple of lefts and rights to do so. And then we will go into the other side. So start by looking forwards, take our right hand, rest it on top of the left collarbone, and rotate round to the right. You should feel that stretch there. And then ease out of it again. Do some looking lefts and rights. Excellent work. Let's go into our lateral flexion now. Bringing one ear to one shoulder, to the other shoulder, and go back and forth between the two. Nice work, everybody. Next time you find your left ear on your left shoulder, let's hold it there. And we've got three options here. One is to just hold the position like so. Option number two is to drop the hand down. So ears towards the left shoulder, so we drop the right arm down. That's going to increase that stretch further. Or if you want a slightly different stretch, we can bring that arm behind us. And you'll see that if you do that, it'll slightly shift where the focus is. For me, I prefer option number two. I get a little bit more of a stretch from it, and it hits the areas that I feel like it needs to for me. But have a play around with what works for you on this. Ease out of it. Do a couple of lefts and rights here, just to do so. And then when your right ear is on your right shoulder, let's hold it there. Drop the left arm down. And feel that stretch there. Okay, well, let's ease out of that. Do a couple of lefts and rights. Nice. All right, we're going to go through the rest of our spine now. I'm just coming to the side so you can see it easier. We'll start with our flexion extension. So we arch back as if we're a high jumper going over a pole, and then we curl forwards like we are a shrimp or a prawn. And we go back and forth between the two. So curling forwards, arching back, back and forwards between the two. Good work. If you're like me, it might take a few to get into this. Get a little bit of resistance to start with, but as you get into it, we start to move. And you can see with my spinal movements there, in that just above the backrest there, it's not a lot of movement. It's probably not much more than 10 centimeters of movement. But it's just allowing me to mobilize that spine, get it flowing the way it's designed to here. And I find this exercise in particular, out of all the spinal movements we do, to be one of the most beneficial. After I do it, I always feel a lot more loose, my spasms are reduced, and I just have a lot less pressure and that within the spine area, which is quite relieving. Let's ease out of that and we'll go into some rotation now. So just assist if we need to, pulling ourselves round. Try not to pull too far around though, just a nice easy pull one way and then the other. Nice. Well, let's ease out of that one. I'm turning just again to show you it easier. We're going to go down to one side, down to the other, back and forth between the two of that now. Just our lateral flexion here. Good work. And let's go into some whirlpools now. So going round in a circle. Like we're in a whirlpool going round and round. Let's change direction. Nice. Well, let's have another little hydration break here, and then we're going to move into some of our yoga movements next. So, feel free to carry on drinking there. I'm just going to talk for a second anyway. So we're going to do our threading the needle one here to begin with. So to do this, first we'll put our left arm, so the forearm is sort of on our lap like so. And by doing so, we've created a hole sort of between, well, like a triangle here, where the leg's the bottom, and then the torso is one side of the triangle, and the arm's the other side. So we've got a little triangle there we created. And what we're going to do is rotate up and point to the sky. And then we come down, and then we put our arm through that circle, through that triangle if you can, and pointing it as far over as we can. And if you can, lean into it. I've got an adaptation if you can't get into this position, but I'll show you this to begin with. So reaching up the best we can, and then coming down, threading that needle through, and leaning into it as well. And just go back and forth between the two on that. Now, if you're not able to bring the hand down and through, instead, what we can do is come down and just go across the body. So we're just eliminating that forward bend part of it. Or you can even still add that in as well a little bit if you're able to. Similar, but slightly different if you're not able to do this here. And this is a little bit of rotation, a little bit of flexion and extension, sort of combined together with that arm movement as well. So we get a bit of a stretch as we come up here. As we come down and through, we get a little bit of a stretch here as well. It's all about just mobilizing, stretching, and getting everything flowing nicely on this one. Good, well, we'll do a couple more here on this side. And let's switch over to the other side. So true right arm now, so the forearm's on the lap. We've created this triangle here. Rotate up to the sky, come down and thread the needle. Or if you're not able to thread the needle, up to the side and rotate across there. Good work. Remember, it's not a problem what you can or can't do. It's all about doing the best of what you can do here. And that may change on days as well. You may be able to do more one day and more or less another day. But we just do the best of what we can do with what we've got. And that's all we can ask from ourselves. So don't try and overreach it too much. Stay within the comfort zone. This is a mindful movement session. We try and push our comfort zone a little bit more during the cardio sessions tomorrow. Good, well, let's ease out of that one. And then we'll start going through our usual yoga movement stuff here. So we're going to reach down to the floor. I'm quite close to the camera, so I'll try and do this the best I go back. Every centimetre there helps. So we're going to go all the way down to the floor, and then we're going to come up with a flat back. Then we go back down again, and then the second time we come up, we curl up, sitting up nice and tall, and then back down to the starting position. All the way down, reach to the floor, then come up 45 degrees, and then back down again, curling up the second time, sitting up nice and tall, and back down to the starting position. Up with the flat back, back down, curling up, sitting up nice and tall, and going back down again. Good work. Let's start to add in our next bit here. I'll just go through it there. Up with the flat back, back down, curling up the second time. As you sit up, palms together, reaching up, out, and around. Good work. All the way down to the floor. Coming up with that flat back. Back down. Curling up. Palms together, reaching up. Out. And around. And down again. Good work, everybody. Up with the flat back. Back down. Curling up the second time. Palms together, reach up, out, and around. Feel free to do this at your own pace if you want to go maybe a little bit quicker or a little bit slower. Don't go too quick or too slow on it though. Keep it nice and controlled, but also keep it flowing here. Good work, everybody. Let's add in the next bit now. So as we bring it up, out, and around, we stop at parallel. We rotate to one side, we rotate round to the other side, and we go back to the middle and back down. So let's go from the beginning again. Up with the flat back, back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out, and around to parallel. Rotate to the left, rotate to the right. Try not to knock anything valuable over at your in-laws' house, and down to the bottom again. Coming up with a flat back, back down, curling up the second time, reaching up, out, and around to parallel, to the left, to the right, back to the middle, and down. Let's go one more time on that. So come up with a flat back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out and around. Rotate to the left, rotate to the right, and back to the middle, and relax those arms down. Let's give it a little bit of a shake off there if you need to. Good work so far, everybody doing really good. Let's have a nice, although I'm in a cooler building, it's still quite warm here, so I'm gonna have an extra hydration break here. Excellent work. We've got quite a bit of time here still left today, but we're going to do an extended mindfulness part of today's session. So we'll do two little bits here. So we're going to just start with some nice deep breathing, and then I'll move into it in time. So just breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just keep that going there. And just start to relax into where you are, and just feel the relaxation wash over as you do your breathing in and out. Nice, slow. Try and make that out breath longer than the in breath as well. So maybe it's like 3 or 4 seconds to breathe in, but then we want maybe 5, 6, 7, or even 8 seconds on the way out. Just nice, slow, long, deep breathing. You can purse your lips to breathe out if it's easier. That can help slow down the breath. And as you do this, you'll notice you'll start to become a lot more calm as you just slow that breathing down, especially that out breath. Good way. You should start to feel a lot more relaxed in this position. Keep that breathing going to the best of your ability. Just nice, slow, long, deep breaths in and out. Now we're in a bit more of a relaxed state here. Let's go through a bit of a body scan today. So we're going to start at the top of our head and work our way down to the tip of our toes. We're going to check in with each part of our body as we go down. And we're not going to try and make any changes. We're just here to observe, listen to what our body says when we really focus on this. And a reminder is that sometimes we have an injury or something going on in one part of our body, and it leads us to pay so much attention to that we start to forget about the rest of our body. And sometimes we even do it without the distraction there. So this is just a good opportunity to listen to your body, see what it's giving you feedback-wise, and just making a mental note. So we're going to start together at the top of our head. I'll guide you through all of this. And we're starting the crown area and start to feel how that area feels there. Not a lot of nerves in this area, so we didn't get too much sensation or feedback from it. But it's good to check on it anyway to see how things are doing. Let's move into our forehead now, and here we can start to give things a wiggle if we need to. We can go into the eyes as well, check if they're heavy or light. Just seeing generally how that face the upper face and the middle face there is feeling. As we go down now into our jaw, and we can give this a movement as well, see how it's doing. Again, we're not trying to fix anything here, we're just trying to observe, see how it feels, and maybe if we can get a good understanding of how our body is in this moment, we can give it a good baseline and compare it to other times. Let's go down now through our neck so we can give our head some movement side to side. And let's go into the shoulders now and out to the edge of the shoulders in that ball and socket joint area. And we can give this a movement as well and see how it is in this moment. This area is obviously susceptible for us who, especially in manual wheelchairs, but also powered chairs and just anybody else that is using their arms a little bit more than they are designed to. This area can feel a little bit tight, a little bit achy, but also a little bit loose because it's been used quite a bit. Let's see how that feels. Let's go down now through our upper arms into our elbows. Again, we can give it some movement just by flexion and extension at the elbow there. And moving down into our wrists. So we can give some hand movements here just to see how that feels in the wrists. Just observing, just seeing how it feels. So my left wrist has been a bit clicky, but my right wrist has also been a bit achy. So it's just keeping an eye on those, seeing how they are, comparing it to normal. It just gives me a much better understanding of how my body is. Let's go down into our fingers. Excellent work. Let's bring that focus all the way back up our arms into our torso now, where we can give our spine a little movement, which we've been doing a lot today, so it's probably feeling quite loose. It also might be feeling a little bit tired, but that's perfectly normal after doing some stretches. Into our hips, seeing how they feel now. And this is an area that, if you're like myself, you can't feel or do much with. So we just put the focus and attention down there and see what, if any, feedback we get from it. And that just helps us to give an understanding of how it normally feels. Go down now through our upper legs, seeing how they are. We can give it a bit of a wobble if you need to. Into the knees. Just send that focus and attention down there. If you're able to move at the knee, then feel free to give it a wiggle or move. If you're not, then just focus the energy down there, down through that lower leg, into our feet and our toes, where we can send all the energy down there and see what feedback we get. While we're down there, just keep the focus there. We're going to do 3 deep breaths in together. To do this, we breathe in through the nose, but as you do so, I want to imagine that you're filling your body up with a bright white light, starting from the tip of your toes, going all the way up to the top of your head. So first, a big deep breath in, breathing in now. Fill that body with the white light and release. So imagine there's a beam of light that's going from the tip of your toes to the top of your head. Let's go now with a big breath in. Breathe out. And one more here, breathing in. Breathing out. Good work. Keep the breathing going. Nice relax here. I just want you to notice how you feel in this moment. Going through that body scan is a really great way to not only check in with our body, but also to relax it down. That helps to reduce stress, blood pressure, and all sorts of other things that will help us keep healthy, both in our body and our mind as well, for a long time to come if we keep on top of these things. Nice, slow, deep breathing. We're going to go into our next one here. So keep the eyes closed, but open up your mind's eye to a beach walk scenario. It could be you walking, it could be you rolling, it could be made up of a beach that you know, or a completely custom one, or fantasy one, whatever you want to do here. Let's start to create that scene. So imagine what the sky is like, the beach and the water. And just starting to imagining the most detailed scene of a beach that you can create within your mind's eye here. Notice the color of the sand. Notice how maybe it's sparkling, or even maybe you've got a sunset and everything's just a little bit more peach in color. Whatever it may be, that's not a right or wrong way of doing this. It's just about being mindful, focusing on your surroundings, even if it's one within your own mind. Just helps us to relax and calm down. So making that as detailed as we possibly can. Let's add in a little another layer here with some sound, just imagining what it sounds like, maybe some gentle waves crashing up onto the shore. Maybe there's birds chirping or people playing in the distance, whatever it may be. Just try and create that scene just a little bit more detail. And as you do, as you focus on this, everything within your nervous system really starts to calm down and relax. Let's add in another sense here with the temperature. This is totally up to you whether you want a nice, brisk, cold winter walk along the seafront, or wherever you want to be just nice and warm and cozy. Whatever it may be, just start to bring that into the equation. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just all about staying focused on what yours is. So now we should be in a lot more relaxed position here. Let's start to close down that scene within our mind. Closing the audio, the temperature and the visuals, and bringing that focus back inwards. Whilst we're here, let's thank ourselves again for being here today, showing up, but also getting through this session. So give yourself a thank you for that. And then when you're ready to, you can sit up nice and straight, open up your eyes and bring yourself back to the room. Excellent work everybody on that, and well done for today's session.